Hello, you're watching Avenue X, and today I want to talk about a just finished airing Chinese drama, literally on the day I'm shooting this video, on the platform iQIYI, 雀谷 Key to the Phoenix Heart. This is a 28 episodes period drama that has started airing on the 11th. As of today, 22nd, they've released the last 4 episodes with the condition that you have to pay the money, extra money, to watch it. I have watched pretty much up to yesterday's episodes, and today when they released the ending, I kind of found other sources and had a quick look at it. So I know how the story ends. This is a pair drama led by Hou Minghao, Ai Mi, Wang Yilun. They are the 3 most important characters to the story, although this drama is actually quite busy with a lot of other characters. It was shot from July to November last year, which is actually a quite long period of time for producing a idol period drama from Chinese dramaland that is only 28 episodes long. As for the story, it is set in a fictional period time that looks like a combination of multiple different dynasties of Chinese history. You have our female lead character as a young, kind of spoiled and carefree daughter of a very powerful aristocrat family, but she's actually an adopted daughter. Very early on in the story, she will be put into an arranged marriage because of necessity of political alliance to a prince, and also not as his first wife because he's already gotten like 2 wives. That guy is played by Hou Minghao. And soon you will find out this guy has a lot of complicated different identities and layers of things, and basically it's mainly about these 2. I wouldn't say right from the beginning love story, but later it will become that, and then how it works into the very, very complicated court mess that this drama has that is to do with the political turmoils of this dynasty. And Wang Yilun's character is a prince who also has a very, very complicated background. He's kind of the frenemy of our leading couple, because sometimes he's the enemy, sometimes he's the friend, and he's swinging between the sides of things until the very end type of situation. Anyway, this drama is actually quite complicated compared to other similar idol dramas, and I will not spoil it anymore for you. You should go and watch it yourself if you are interested. To me, it is not an idol drama that I would highly recommend to everybody. I could only put it in the framework, I guess, in comparison to other things ongoing right now in Chinese drama. For example, the one I just talked about by Huasha, The Blossom of Power. They're airing at the same time. They have eerily similar element, like the both leading male characters are a type of crown prince with the Xiao surname, with a condition that's basically saying they cannot live very long because their health is very, very shitty, whether it's due to injury or poison. In both dramas have He Rendong playing their father-in-law. Totally different type of characters, but it's the same actor's face. And there are like overlapping element of those 2 dramas, so while I was watching them at the same time, I seriously sometimes mix them up together. If you compare 雀谷 Key to the Phoenix Heart to Blossom of Power, then it becomes easier to tell you what this drama feels like. It is shorter, it is a lot more concise, it actually has a lot more happening, it's more busy, it has a lot more characters too, so it's not just focused on the leading couple. Overall speaking, in terms of respecting your time, 雀谷 is better because it has more content in a much shorter window. I would also say, in terms of 3-dimensionalize every person you come across in the drama, whether they're leads or supporting or just like extra, 雀谷 does a better job. So in that sense, I would say 雀谷 Key to the Phoenix Heart is a more entertaining idol period drama from Chinese dramaland. But that's just about it. I don't think I'll remember the drama for a long time to come, and it still is filled with pities, I would say. Now, let's go into the details, talk about exactly what I like about this drama and what I think are the pities. On the good side, point number 1, I kind of already mentioned it. It's actually not a boring drama. Maybe at the beginning, I'd say first couple of episodes, when they're setting things up, when the 2 leads haven't really married yet, it's kind of like a very typical idol drama thingy. As it goes on, when they actually marry, because of the, I'd say, combination of characters and their relationship dynamics are not exactly the normal thing in idol dramaland, therefore it becomes a little bit more interesting. Also later they start to introduce a lot of supporting roles from all angles, and you're always busy and being engaged in a lot of ongoing things. It will not make you feel very bored, and there are pretty much no long stretched out slow motion scene with like BGM in the background and just looking at the leads who look so pretty, right? Which happens a lot in Blossom Powers. You may not like the story and decide not to continue, but I don't think you would think, oh my god, they're just dragging it out and water it down like what always happens in Chinese drama land. Number 2, I have to emphasize, this is one of those rare period idol dramas these days that has a female leading character who is on paper a teenager who is actually played by a person of that exact age. So when Aimee was shooting this drama, she was 17. One of those really rare cases in Chinese drama land these days where a real young girl is playing a real young girl. Because most of the idol dramas, when the lead is supposed to be like 18, 20, maybe sometimes 16, they're played by actors who are like 28, even 30 something. You look at this drama and you actually can see, oh my god, there is a very big difference between a 30-year-old trying to play a teenager and a teenager playing a teenager. When you don't see a comparison, you don't get it. But when you see a comparison, it's kind of too obvious to run away from it. And she, therefore, just because her age is just so suited for the character, almost everything she does on screen is right. Because when she's being youthful and kind of like naive and a little bit girly, you don't feel it's fake. Unfortunately, we are not gonna get a lot of that type of dramas because most of the people in the entertainment business, when they get to play a leading role, they're not gonna be a teenager, right? It's very rare that you come across this type of occurrence. Mostly it's still gonna be people in their 20s, 30s playing much younger characters. So that's a second really unusually kind of interesting point and I'd say positive point about this drama. Number 3, I also have kind of briefly mentioned, which is I highly appreciate, even though it's an idol drama, even though a lot of things are still very, very abbreviated when it comes to court politics. But there's one good thing that this drama, I think is very consciously being done by the writers and the drama makers, which is when we have a character, whoever this person is, however long they're gonna be on screen, we are trying to make this person making sense in their own world. In a lot of bad writing dramas, all the other people apart from the leads are tools. They only serve the lead's needs. When you think through their logic, and then that person's line, it does not make sense for them to act like this and then like that because sometimes they're contradictory. In comparison, this drama actually gives every character who shows up very equal level of paying them respect, making them look like humans. They would do things that make sense in their conditions. When you can do that in an idol drama, it's already kind of showing that you are better than just crappily put together scripts and dramas that are made for who knows what purpose. And I would say this is actually to my surprise because this drama contains a lot of supporting roles. Different age, gender, there's a complicated net surrounding our leading characters. They're pretty much all treated as very individual people, and when the drama has the room to give them, they will give them their own sort of highlight moments, even if it's just for one scene or two. It really shows that the writers of the story cares about what they're doing, and they have a basic understanding of how it should be working, and they are also relatively competent at getting it done. The last great point of this drama is the most unanticipated point of this drama. The best dramatic parts and best performances in this drama actually do not come from the leading young pack, which would be Ho Minghao, Wang Yilun, and Aimee. The best performances, the most complicated, interesting characters, and some of the most grabbing my eyeballs on the screen moments come from the mid-age generation actors playing their daddy. And here I will point out 3 people. He Rendong playing our female lead's father. Jing Sha playing our female lead's mother. Both are adopted parents, obviously. And Tao Xingran playing the Empress Dowager. First, Tao Xingran. She is An Lingrong from Empress in Palace. Longtime Chinese drama viewers knows her most iconic character. There are so many memes and jokes, and she's becoming like a cultural symbol in Chinese contemporary culture. And remember what she looks like in the drama. How she acts, how she talks, that kind of insecure little birdie kind of like nature. She was a master at playing that character, and she convinces you 100% that this is like that type of person. You look at what she's like years later in this drama, playing a very politically brutal, bad Empress Dowager. I would say the makeup hairstyle does help her, but almost, I think, when you first see her and how she talks and holds herself and what she looks like, you wouldn't even remember that is the same person. Obviously, there's been more than 10 years in between all of those dramas, so she does age. But also, I think she totally inhabits this character who is a totally different person than An Lingrong in Empress in Palace. She convinces you that she holds power, even with one shot. And it's like, okay, she's the top of the tier of the society, no problem, and she is not gonna let her power easily being taken by other people. I kid you not. For like 5-10 episodes almost with her in it in every episode, and never realized it is played by Tao Xinran until I was like, hold on, there's like one shot of one angle. Like she actually, I had to look at the credits and realize it's her playing the Empress Dowager. And I was like, oh my God. Yes, if you actually know, you look at her, you'll realize it's the same person's face, but she has such a different aura in this drama that she's nothing like An Lingrong in Empress in Palace. Therefore, your brain doesn't connect. She literally became two completely different person with the same face. Aged a little bit, yes. Skinnier, yes. But I was so impressed. I highly recommend you just go and check out this drama for a little bit. Now I've spoiled it for you, so you will know it's her. But honestly, if you don't know, you watch it, you may not realize it's her. That's how good she is in this drama. And I feel like there's almost like a generation gap, or it's like a different tier of actors, like gap between her acting and then the younger generation. They're really not on the same plane. It's not even comparable. In many ways, you feel the older actors, they know they're in an idol period drama. It is nothing serious. Most of the things don't even make sense. But then, as the actors, they do their duty and they make their character convincing. Then He Rendong, another father-in-law of the male lead, his character is also very, very, very interesting. He's a very complicated characters, right? He has the almost opposite sides, and one side and the other side are like two different person. Sometimes looking like a really good daddy, sometimes look like a terrible, terrible political schemer. And he can play that and mingle that really well and make you actually really appreciate his presence. Some of the best moments, most interesting twists and turns in the drama actually happens on this character. And honestly speaking, I find him a lot more attractive and charismatic and interesting as an actor, but also as his character than male lead or male second of this drama. When He Rendong is on screen, I would actually look at the screen and I'm like, yeah, I want to see what he does. When Ho Minghao and Wang Yilun shows up, sometimes I don't even want to bother looking at the screen because I know they're gonna have that face that doesn't have anything on it. And they're all dubbed, so I would just listen to what they're saying and know the plot, and there's no necessity to actually look at their face with their performance, because their performance will not lend more than the language they're speaking, the lines, the information they're speaking in that scene. Because this time, the He Rendong character in this drama has a lot more to do with the main plot. He has a lot more screen time than, say, Blossom Power, when he just shows up for a couple of scenes. If you like him and you want to see him playing a really complicated character, this time in the period drama, who is not just good or not just bad, I would recommend you go and give it a try. I think this is his most complicated supporting role after he's becoming the daddy generation actor in Chinese idol drama. Then Jing Sha, I don't think most people would remember who she is. I didn't recognize who she is until I realized later. Jing Sha plays our female lead's mother, adopted mother, a princess. And she holds herself in this way that she really convinces you she's a princess. The older generation of actors really know what they're doing. Back in early, many years ago, when Hu Ge was in that time travel drama, she is the girl he met and then I think died very early on in the story, and a lot of people felt like a huge pity that actress. She's best known as a singer instead of an actress. I haven't seen her for years and I've forgotten what she looks like almost. So I didn't realize it's her for the longest time in this drama until I realized. I'm like, kind of proves, the older generation really is like just overall their abilities are better trained, better developed. Back in the days when they were working at their peak time, it was a different type of industry before internet and all the things that have happened now, that those actors do have more tools in their bag. For He Rendong, Tao Xinran, Jing Sha, I really actually paid more attention to their moments and their plotline, their characters, and I was marveled more at what they were doing than the leads. So you can say this is a good point about the drama, but it can also say it's unfortunately, in contrast, showing you that the younger generations are nowhere near as capable as actors as the older generation. And I don't think there's any excuse for that, because honestly, in the world of acting, it is not the type of like the older you are, the longer you've stayed in the industry, you should just by default be better. Or like the younger you are, you should just by default be lesser capable. It's totally not that type of industry. In many ways, you should say that if you're really good and you're really talented, you should shine when you're 15 instead of 25. So these are a couple of really great things about this drama, and most of them I would say I totally didn't expect before I got into this drama. So they all serve as a level of surprise. Then the not so great things about this drama. Although I've already compared it to Blossom of Power quite a few times and saying this drama is stronger, at the end of the day, ultimately, it's still an idol period drama. It still cannot get out of that framework and completely so break free and have something inventive happening. A lot of things does not stand scrutiny of logic, and if you want to think through things, it would not work in that way. One huge problem that I always had with this drama that bothered me throughout the whole drama until the last episodes and made me not believe the essential setup of the female lead character, which is she's a genius, a young genius in her teens who can design all types of crazy mechanical things like crossbows and water dam engineering. She's basically engineering genius. And the reason they gave you, like why as an aristocrat lady who grew up in this type of society where you can't go to public school to learn technical stuff, engineering at all, like why she has that ability, they gave it the reason that she's actually, her parents were from the Maoist sect, which is a real thing in Chinese history. And if you play Where Winds Meet, literally in 24 hours, you're gonna go to the mountain where it's set, and you're gonna see all the mechanical weird things that exist in the game world, which is related to the tradition of Maoist disciplines in Chinese ancient philosophy. In this drama, they just said because she's adopted and her real biological parents were from the Maoist sect and they were all designers of like genius designers of mechanical things, therefore she just can do. I was waiting for the drama at some point to tell me at what age she got adopted. And then before she got adopted, did she learn that from her parents? How old was her? If you say she was 4 and then she learned everything, I'm like, I'm not gonna believe you. Drawing like complicated mechanical drawings, thinking in 3-dimensional, like all physics and mathematics, like, you cannot learn that before you're 4-year-old, okay? And if like she's adopted much later, which is not the case in the story, because she did say in the story to the male lead, my parents thought I forgot and think of them as my parents, but I actually remember, you know, like I always know I was adopted, which would mean that she was pretty young when she was adopted, right? The drama never went into detail about, okay, what happened to the parents, right? How did she get adopted? Did they leave a lot of books for her so that she grows up and is just teaching herself and learned everything? Like, did she have other teachers? Like, how did she, like by the year of like 15, 16-year-old, she can design the strongest crossbow that this world hasn't yet seen that can greatly serve their military in the story setting. It is just too unbelievable, too ideal, too putting the halo intentionally on the leading character so that to earn audiences' like for her, or just make the future narrative of the story easier because she's a genius. She knows how to do it. So the problem when it comes to that, she will solve it. We don't have to worry, push to the next plot point. When in reality, there's no way it could happen. She's just like dressed in perfect clothing, right? There's like no like smudge of anything. And she's using her little hammer to dun, 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 and hitting on things. Next scene, she gets it done. And her hair is still perfect, or her makeup, or everything is still dangling and didn't tangle on her hair. I'm like, yeah, believe that from engineers. To me, it just makes me not take it too seriously when I want to. When I want to say, okay, let me invest this moment and take it seriously, and this happens. I'm like, instantly get kicked out of the door, and I'm like, okay, I'll still take you as an idol period drama. Second point. Younger actors aside, and they have like longer development time in the future we can look forward to. For people like Wang Yilun and Hou Minghao. Hou Minghao, although to me he's young, he was born in 97, right? He's on the brink of turning 30. What can I say? Like him and Wang Yilun, their performances are so stale. Made up similarly in different period dramas with that wig. They get like dubbed in similar ways. They play the similar princess roles who look elegant in their long robe, and in every medium, close-up, whatever angle shot of whatever emotion that's supposed to happen on screen, they look exactly the same in every drama. It's like if you've watched any of their previous idol drama works, you have watched this one already. If you do a prediction game in your head, you can predict every second in that condition, in that scene, between those dialogues, what they're gonna look like. With the new drama's wig, there's just not even one moment and 1 second of surprise and few genuine engagement. I guess if their face is your thing, right? So you can get that dopamine hit when you look at them, when you like, but that's the only value that their performance is gonna give you in this type of drama. I think it's a pity. When I was watching this drama, often when I see Amy, right, like being the girl, like she's playing like a very suitable age and moment, and then cut to Ho Min Hao. It's like a real living, breathing person with like a bubbly life energy, and cut to mannequin. I'm like, there's nothing going on. Like there's no real person, and it's slowly pushing in tracking shot and glowing like bokeh and BGM in the background. It's just luckily the drama is only 28 episodes. So that's my opinion about the drama 雀骨 Key to the Phoenix Heart. For the reasons I've stated, if you're interested, I think you should go and check out the drama. But also just keep your expectation at a reasonable level. And for the seasoned Chinese drama watchers these days, I think you're very aware of what is the overall average level of drama these days. So I trust you will not over anticipate, therefore then disappoint yourself at the end of it. Thank you for watching Avenue X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.